Woo! What are we, man? What day is this? I know it's Saturday, but we are. We are on day 20. Day 20, man. Man, the time is flying. I can't believe it's already day 20. God dang. That's crazy. Already day 20. You know what? This thing will be done. Oh, man. I hope you guys get a lot out of this because we've covered a lot of information. We've gone over so many things. We've still got a lot of tech stuff to cover. We're going to get into a few more tech pieces next week. A little bit more behind some of the more crazy apps, I guess you should say, where you can get more into the creative deep fake, I guess is the best way to say it, where you can have some real fun with it, where you can move, change faces, change voices, and just really just have some fun with it and just make things really just like people look at it and go, "Ooh, what's that? Did I really hear what I just heard?" Kind of thing. So check that out next week for sure. I've got a new one. Probably will post today. Different looking reel where it's a rotating box. Different kind of looking reel. So check that out. It'll be pretty unique. So we're gonna jump into the day real quick, get it going. Also tomorrow, I will actually have to record tomorrow's session. I actually will be at a wedding in Louisville, and I will not have my normal setup with me. So I'm going to record it today, but it will broadcast tomorrow at 7:30 like normal. But it will go out. It will happen, but it will not be live. There will not be a chat or anything like that. So no questions can be asked or anything, but the show will go on. There will be everything just like always, but just want to let you guys know there will not be no chat, no questions or anything like that. But just FYI in advance, but we will make it happen. And like I said, my commitment is to make this thing happen every day for 30 days. And that's the challenge. That's what I've accepted. And we're going to do that. So with that being said, let's get into this. So today's challenge is going to be do something inspirational and be inspirational. And excuse me for a sec. This a big piece of this challenge is to be willing to stand up and do things that others will not consistently be willing to do or consistently don't think are possible, and show them that it's possible. Show them how to overcome their fears or whatever, and show them or lead them and show them the way and show them why it can be done, and why not you? Why can't you stand up and be that one that leads them? And that's the whole purpose of this, is breaking down your own barriers and standing up and being that brave one that shows the rest of your crew or your team that we can do this. This isn't that hard. And yeah, is it scary at first? 100%. 100% it is. But you can overcome it. You can absolutely overcome it. It's not that difficult. I mean, it's just like this 30-day video challenge. This is just as much of a challenge to me as it is for you. It's just on a different level. So challenge yourself to increase your ability to lead. And why do you need to do this? It's because leadership changes everything. It makes people more attracted to you. It helps us grow in business, and it makes us better spouses, better parents, better friends, better everything. It elevates our game all the way around. Excuse me. These temperature changes, man. Allergies and everything else. Um, so, you know, you know, there's so much craziness and chaos in the world, and several things that I've always been taught by several of the coaches is just strive to be different. And one of the things that has stood out from one of the very first big financial courses I went to that really taught me how to think differently and think more like a financial advisor and be able to talk differently to clients was when everybody else is going one way, I need to be going the other way and stand out. So when everybody else is talking about all this stuff because they don't know what else to talk about, show them a unique perspective or a unique thing. Like right now, everybody's talking about how the market's terrible and how rates are too high, how properties are going to crash, and how all this stuff's going to happen. Well, when you look back in time in history, for the last 7 decades, we've seen these cycles before. There's only been 7 years out of the last 7 decades that home prices have dropped. 7 years out of 7 decades. And there's always been times in those 7 decades where we have single digit growth and then there's double digit growths. And we've gone through double digit growths and then followed by single digits, and it sets yourself up for double digits again. And that's where we're going right now. And when you look at that pattern, we're coming into another good opportunity. But everyone's looking at the fear. Everyone wants to point out the fear. And we're going to get into this in a second. This is very important. Everyone's looking at the fear. That's the easy route. But you've got to be able to look at what's the underlying issue. Is there another possibility? Is there something more important that you should be identifying and understanding what's really happening? And when you can look at things differently and you don't go with the mainstream philosophy or thought, and you can challenge it in an educated way, in a knowledgeable way, and you're not afraid to do it and speak your mind in a professional way, you stand out in a very unique way. And then you start to lead. People start to gravitate to you. And that's what this is about. I mean, it's not about getting up and being the loudest. It's not dressing wild and crazy. It's not literally everybody's walking to the right and you're walking to the left. It's just having a unique approach, having a unique proposition, a unique set of tools to be able to differentiate yourself from the next competitor. And I always ask this about everybody when we're in our meetings and live trainings: what differentiates you from the next realtor in the room? I mean, what's really makes you different from the realtor sitting next to you, behind you, in front of you? I mean, I know what differentiates me. Very few people can get up and talk about the stuff I can talk about, can show you the graphs, can explain the history, can go back through all this stuff and talk to somebody, whether they're a CEO or some first-time home buyer, and explain this to them in a level that they can understand. Very, very few people can do that. So what's different about you? So you got to figure that out. So be go out and inspire people. Go out and inspire people and let them know what's going on. Tell them your story. Um, there might be something that's cool that happens over the weekend, and tell them about it. It could be you know something that just encourages them or whatever, but just go out there and be inspirational. Don't just dwell on the market. There's so much good going on. There's so much opportunity. There's, I mean, the new Fannie Mae rule with the fourplexes, or actually any multifamily, going down to a 5% down payment instead of 15%. That's freaking huge. You can take somebody with that, a first time home buyer, and show them how to buy a fourplex, for example, a fourplex, rent the other three sides or other three units. They're going to be living rent free. And maybe it's not the ideal place for them first, but you know what? We can show you guys on paper, financially. They do that for a couple of years, and then they take some of that cash and go buy another place that, where they really want to be, and look at the numbers financially and where they're going to be. Oh my gosh, it's a life changer. And then they keep that property. That property will literally set up their retirement. And if somebody does that at a young age, they're set. And then they go buy another one. If they're really smart, they would literally go buy another one. They buy one today, and then in 2 years, they do it again. Then you turn around and have two of them, and then you go buy another one. You ultimately end up with 8 rental properties, 8 units at least. I mean, there's so many ways to show people how to get ahead. And this is the perfect market. Yeah, rates are high. Rates are high. It's not the end of the world. It's not. There's opportunity in this market, huge opportunity. And if you can just simply sit down and educate a client and show them why rates absolutely will come down. They do every time. We see it every time in history. Every freaking time. And it's going to happen again. The Fed always does this. Last 70 years, we've seen it again, time and time again. 7 years, not 7 years, 7 decades. 7 decades. Every time. Same thing every time. It's a broken record. We know what's happening. We see inflation dropping. And inflation, excuse me, historically always follows, or rates always follows inflation. So with inflation dropping, we know rates are dropping. And they haven't even started to cut the Fed's funds rate yet. And as soon as they start to cut the Fed's funds rate, boom, everything else will start to drop. So it's going to get better, people. The market's going to return. But when the market returns, people are going to return to the market. Home prices are going to go back up. And the opportunities that are there right now are going to go away. And that's why you got to go inspire your people, help educate them, help them understand now is the time. This window is closing. The same house they can buy today is going to be 50 grand higher in the future. That's not speculation. It's fact, based on 7 decades of historical trends. I know there's a lot of naysayers that are on the media saying it's going to be the opposite. They don't follow the facts. They're up there with no facts. They're just up there talking heads. We at least give you the facts. We show you where the facts come from. They don't give you any facts. So go be inspirational. Check out go look up John C. Maxwell. He's an American author and speaker, also a pastor, and has wrote many famous books on leadership. And two of the big ones is the 21 laws of irrefutable, 21 laws of irrefutable laws on leadership, and then 21 dispensable qualities of a leader. And 2010, he wrote, you can't find the right answer if you're asking the wrong questions. And he said, uncreative mind can spot wrong answers. Think about that. The uncreative mind can spot wrong answers, but it takes a creative mind to spot wrong questions. It takes a creative mind to spot wrong questions. So why must it be done this way? What's the root of this problem? What's the underlying issue? What's causing this problem? What does this remind me of? What's the opposite of this? What metaphor or symbol that helps you explain it? Why is this important? What is the hardest or most expensive way to do it? Who has a different perspective of this? You know, what happens if it does not happen at all? You know, so you sit back and start to question some of these things, just like I'm saying, you know, everything about the media. You know, it's easy to sit here and say, well, it's terrible to do this, it's terrible to do that, you know, this is bad, it's easy to say that. It's hard to say why you should do something. And it goes back again when I'm in these trainings and I ask realtors, how do you explain marry the house, date the rate? How do you explain date the rate? And the answers are, well, just because we can refi. Okay. So I'm a prospective buyer. Well, how do I know I can refi? Well, you just can. Well, how do you know? Well, you just can. If you can't explain it, how am I supposed to feel comfortable with that? You've got to be able to explain that. So if I'm the client saying, well, why? Well, why? That's why you have all these people going, you can't do it, because nobody can challenge them. Nobody can sit here and say, no, media people, no, client people, no, you chaos creating people. It is a great time to buy. And here's why. Here's the numbers. Here's why mortgage rates are going to drop. Here's why you're going to be able to refi. Here's why here's why the home prices are going to go up. Here's why we have a housing problem. Nobody's talking about the fact that BlackRock, Slate Street, and the other companies escaping me right now, Wall Street investment firms own 1/4 of the single family housing population in America. 1/4. Wall Street investment firms started after the last housing collapse. You want to know where some of our housing supply is? They're all freaking rental properties owned by Wall Street. Who's talking about it? Not a damn person. So they should be talking about it, but instead they're talking about all the dumb stuff because they don't know of anything else to talk about. So you want to go be different? You want to go be unique. You want to go educate. You want to go be inspirational. Go talk to your people. Give them information they can use. I didn't think it was going to take that long to get through that. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of that. We're going to go through some quick tech real quick. Let me bring this down here real quick. This stuff is pretty slick. Something you guys will have to play with and get used to. The first one here is, where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. Get these lined back up for you. This first one is a slick little tool that you can use to do all sorts of cool little stuff. This thing will take, I have not personally tried this yet, but I am going to. I don't know exactly the cost yet. I have not dug into this yet, but it looks totally legit. You can literally take and give them one video and they will take and reformat and send it out to every individual platform, already formatted to each platform the way it needs to be done. So you're not sitting there having to reformat each video for YouTube or for Pinterest or for freaking going blank now. Something different for different formats for Facebook or for Instagram or anything different you want to do on TikTok versus a story versus a reel or whatever. They take care of it all. So you record it once and they boom. So it's pretty slick from that point of view, especially if you're trying to go from TikTok or Reels down to YouTube, or if you're going from YouTube back up to out to a reel kind of format with the more of the narrow hot dog box versus the somatic view. Excuse me. So pretty slick there. Crazy name, Jelly Smack, but cool service. Excuse me. And then this was supposed to be, actually, no, that's right. Here we go. Snap Insta. What this will allow you to do is, as you build up your library, you need to start repurposing your stuff. And this goes back to yesterday when we're talking about finding and monitoring your analytics and seeing what performs. And when you find material that performs really well, reuse it. When you find material that doesn't perform well, find out why, and then fix it, and then try it again. And you can, this app will allow you to go out, download that post, and then you can repost, but you can rework it entirely before you repost it. So you don't have to go back in and recreate the entire reel or recreate the entire post. You can literally make a copy of it and then rework it. So you're not starting from scratch. You're just going in there and tweaking what you need to tweak. And sometimes if you need to overhaul the entire thing, well, then maybe it's just easier to go in there and just overhaul the entire thing and start from scratch. But it's a cool way to go in there and pull down a video. And if you're going to just tweak some things, tweak, some songs or your cover or whatever it is, you can do it. It'll save you a lot of time. Same thing, but for TikTok. Does the exact same thing. And then repurpose. I showed you guys this before. This is one of the ones I use. I actually use all of these. I use Insta, TikTok, and repurpose. The repurpose, you can upload one and it'll post them all. But see, this is where I'm having the issue where my Instagram, Reels, when they go to YouTube, they're they're going to both the shorts when it's 60 seconds or less, and then they're posting onto the regular YouTube channel. Whereas once I start working with these guys, they're going to fix that for me. So things will post where they need to post, how they need to post, and I don't have to worry about it. So that'll pull one thing out of here, and it'll make it look a little bit more professional. So it's a time saver. It's something I don't have to jack around with, and just makes it look better. But otherwise, if you're not worried too much about going on both sides of the YouTube, as far as the wide cinematic view or the regular full screen view and the shorts, just use repurpose. It's easier because you can upload one and it kicks it out everywhere. It's super simple to do, super simple to connect, and it just sets it on autopilot. I mean, this is super easy. I've not had any problems out of this at all. So that's the tech stuff for today. So hope you guys have a great day. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to get it recorded, put it out there, and everything will be back live on Monday. And we'll talk to you then. All right. You guys have a great weekend. See you. Bye.